This is Robert Anton, and I'm back with you for American Idol. Hey fam, what's up, what's up, what's up? This is Robert Anton here, robertanton.com. Yes, this is the No Frills American Idol commentary from a singer. And it has started, it has begun, the madness is here. We are now in American Idol Season 11. It has kicked off this night. And let me tell you, they opened up in Savannah, Georgia. So let me tell you, they opened up with a collage about where the auditioners were coming from and all that different stuff and what happened. And it's going to be just a little bit different this time because they will also be having each of the auditioners document their story as they go along. So when they're coming to the audition, and what they did this time was they showed a lot of that in the opening clips. They showed like a lot of the footage of the other entertainers and stuff. And I'm sure they'll be using it at other times as they move on to Hollywood and whatnot. So I am looking forward to seeing some of that in the way that they show themselves from their own point of view. Now let me tell you guys, for those of you who don't know, I generally watch some of the auditions for American Idol, and then I come back around the top 12 to do in-depth commentary. I think this time I'll be watching, you know, maybe one a week, and then I will come back like the top 24 because I think they start getting into singing more fuller songs, you know, like at least about a minute of singing. That way I can actually critique the voices and stuff like that. I don't like to just watch because they just take so many people in and out. But one thing about the auditions they do a lot of times, every single winner has been shown in the audition process so far from what I remember. All the ones that I've seen, all the seasons that I have followed, every single winner has been seen in the audition process. They have not been hidden. So we will see if we can find out the winner. And we can play a little game if you want and say who is going to be in the top 12, you know, as you see people go along. And they were also doing a little segment where it all started. And it was like basically, you know, Kelly Clarkson was the first. I watched the very first season of American Idol, was in love with Tamira Gray, and she went out at 3rd place. Yeah. And I was mad about that at the time. I love Kelly Clarkson, but I was just in love with Tamira Gray. Where were you when it started? Did you watch the first season? And who was your favorite in that season? Okay, so getting on just to a few people that I wanted to talk about. I'm not going to talk about everybody who went up, but I just did want to talk about a few people. They were at the Coliseum in Savannah, Georgia. And yeah, the first person to sing was David Leathers Jr. He's 17. And he did Remember the Rain by Century 21. Then he did a song by MJ, but it's because the judges were like, you sound like, I mean, this boy had a very high natural tenor voice. He had a lot of personality, stage presence, and he was just out there. He did his thing, no nerves, no nothing. He just went up there and nailed it. Totally. I mean, it was just really great. I look forward to seeing more of him. Now, I know a lot of people, including me, watch the auditions to get the funny. You know, really, that is the main reason to watch the auditions for me, is to get the funny. And our first funny contestant, I said not so good singer, was Jessica Whiteley. She was 19 and she did In the Song by Charice. Let me tell you, it was very enjoyable for me to watch. I got my first good laugh of the night, and y'all know I love to laugh, for those of you who know me. It was just that she, you know, I wrote that she had really bad placement. Randy said it was awful, and they were silent. You know how they do the silence after, if you watch Idol, you know, like, it was like, after she finished for like a full like 10 seconds before they said anything, just awkward silence. Oh Lord, she said she plans to go to the Texas auditions also. I don't know why, but whatever. Shaun Kraisman did Oh Girl by the Shylights. Again, a not very good singer. But he had a whole segment about him looking like and idolizing Ryan Seacrest, which was pretty funny. And he did kind of look like him. They could have been brothers. Shannon, I believe Magraine, was 15. She did Something's Got a Hold of Me, Etta James. And she brought her whole family in tall, 6-foot tall girl. She said size 11 shoe, women's shoe, okay? Her dad pitched in the World Series, and I thought, oh Lord, she brought the whole family in. It's going to be terrible, whatever. And she sounded good. I was like, wow, she sounded really, really good. But now Steven Tyler was, since she came in, was giving her that look. He was giving a lot of girls the look. But like with her being 15, I was like, why in the heck are they even, you know? So her dad said something, and Steven said a lewd comment about her. I mean, he said something about the teams and then also her daughter, and it was just kind of like, so if you watch that, it was just a very funny moment for American Idol, and kind of just weird and wrong at the same time. Joshua Chavis, 23, did I'm Yours, Jason Mraz. I thought he was kind of flashy and extra, but he didn't sound very good, and not to me anyway. I mean, he had a lot of personality, and Steven said to him, he said, your voice just ain't there, right? And Randy was like, terrible. I think that's gonna be his thing now, terrible. Yeah, and he came out and just broke down, started crying, poor kid, but it just wasn't good. He was very, very overconfident, and then when he got in there, it just didn't produce. Stephanie Renae, 15, she did Inside Your Heaven by Carrie Underwood. And you know, I was sitting there writing, she was a little nasally, and then Jennifer Lopez said, oh, you know, you're a little nasally, and I was like, oh, she's still in my words right out of my mouth, right? So whatever. People talk about Jennifer Lopez and they say, oh, why is she judging singers and, you know, all this different. But she's a performer. She's an entertainer. And she knows what she is talking about. Believe me, there's so many times where I've been thinking something, or I've said something, and she has stated it right there on television. She has a really good ear. So I wish people would just stop putting her down. But anyway, I was writing it and she said it and I was like, oh my God, I think it's gonna be the same thing with Nicole Scherzinger and X Factor. Every time I was writing something, she would say it right then. I'm like, what? And I'm like, people will never believe that I'm actually writing. They're gonna think I just said what she said, but whatever. Yeah, but I thought the girl had a nice sound altogether. She was just kind of nasally and I was like, I don't know if they're gonna put her through. So they gave her some advice and they sent her through. At least 2 of the judges sent her through. Randy said no. The W.T. Maddox was next. He quit his job in order to audition for American Idol, and he has a baby on the way. And I was like, oh my God, I do not believe people actually do this. But thinking about it, you have to have that kind of commitment if you believe in yourself and you know your talent. Now, there are some people who are delusional, and they need friends around them to say, no, don't, no. Don't do it, you know. But if you believe in yourself, you know you sound good, you know, and people around you who you trust and respect are telling you that you might be able to do this, then it is advisable for you to try. It's not in the best interest. I think it's crazy. I think it's stupid. I think it's insane. But sometimes you have to be a little insane to be successful. And he made it to Hollywood. And I personally thought he had a decent voice. I didn't think it was great, but they put him through, and I'm glad for him. They had a whole Steven Tyler segment next with all the ladies going crazy for Steven. They wanted to, you know, touch him and kiss him and hug him and grab his butt. He kissed several ladies on the lips, and I was just like, ugh. But it was a cute segment, you know. And then they brought out this woman, Erica Nowak, 28. She did Super Duper Love by Joss Stone. And, you know, she had a nice personality and everything, but not the best voice. But she was like saying something the gay people say a lot. That's my future ex-husband. And I was just tripping out. I thought, wow, I think that might be the first time I heard that on television. Yeah, but I've heard it in New York quite a bit. She did not make it through, but she did get to hug Steven Tyler and Randy Jackson. Up next, Brittany Kerr did Spoiled by Joss Stone also. And you know what? Brittany Kerr, I forget what team she's a cheerleader for, but she's a professional cheerleader and a beautiful girl. Great body. And she had a really nice sound and a nice tone. Steven Tyler said yes before she even opened her mouth. She was walking in. He was like, yes. And both the guys said yes. And J-Lo said no. And that's how I wrote on Twitter, women are so catty. But I thought she had a good voice and she made it through. Last up, Philip Phillips, 20-year-old, did Superstition by Stevie Wonder. I thought he was going to be good. But for me, he wasn't so good on the first song. Then they had him pick up his guitar and he did Thriller and he sounded better. I thought he was kind of intense, but I wouldn't have put him through personally. He played the heck out of his guitar. I wrote he played the hell out of that guitar. I can't mince words there. But I just wasn't feeling his voice at all. I didn't think he had a whole lot of presence. And I guess we'll see what happens as he goes through the competition. I wish him the best, but I thought they were overhyping him quite a bit. And I was wondering, you know, with the first song, I didn't think he did so great, why they even asked him to do a second song. So I feel like there's something going on there. I think it's a setup of some kind. 42 people from Savannah made it through. I won't be listing everybody when I do these audition things, because there's just so many people. I will have some people that I didn't mention in this breakdown. That it'll be in the description if you want to see some names. Besides that, we're also going to be Thursday night. They're also going to have more auditions. The auditions are going to be in Pittsburgh. That is tomorrow night if you're watching this the first night it's up, or whenever. And then next week I think I'm going to do probably just Wednesday, but we'll see. I'll be letting you guys know via Twitter or Facebook. All right, this is Robert Anton, robertanton.com. Peace, I'm out.